Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today I will share with you the life and ideas of Ibn Arabi, which is one of the greatest Muslim scholar and mysticism. His full name was Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Muhammad ibn al-Arabi al-Haytami at-Ta'i, but most people know him simply as Ibn Arabi or Muhyiddin ibn Arabi, which means reviver of the religions. He lived in the 12th and 13th century and often called such as Shaykhul Akbar, which means the greatest master. His life was a journey of knowledge and spirituality, and his idea about Sufism, especially the concept of Wahdatul Wujud or unity of being, continue to influence Muslims until today. Okay, next, let's talk about his biography. Ibn Arabi was born in Murcia, Andalusia, which is now known as Spain, in 1165, during the golden age of Andalusian Islam. From a young age, he showed a great interest in religion and spirituality. He studied Quran, Hadith, and Islamic science, but he was also deeply attracted to Sufism. He always traveled to the North Africa, Egypt, Mecca, and finally Damascus, which is this travel shaped his thinking deeply. So, along the way, he met various scholars and master of mysticism, and this encounter enriched his understanding of Islam. Ibn Arabi was also a prolific writer. He produced more than 350 works, but the most famous is Futuhat al-Makkiyah and Fusus al-Hikam. This book combined his spirituality experience with his interpretation of the Quran about his philosophy and God and the universe. And the most famous book still using until now. Okay, now that we know about his life, let us move to his main idea in Sufism. The heart of Ibn Arabi's teaching is the concept of Wahdatul Wujud, which is mean unity of being. He believed that only God truly exists and everything in the world is a reflection of the God's reality. In other words, creation is not separate from the God, but show his presence. For Ibn Arabi, Sufism was not just about ritual or ascetic of life. It was about discovering the deep truth of existence through the love of God, meditation, and spiritual practice. A person can realize that all things are connected to the God. This idea made him one of the most influential thinkers in Islamic mysticism. But it also raised many questions among other scholars because some worry it blurs the line between creator and his creation. To understand his idea better, let us look at the Quran and Sunnah, which used as evidence. Ibn Arabi always supported his teaching with verses from the Quran. For example, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 115, which is, "To Allah belong the east and the west, so wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah." This shows that God is everywhere. From Surah Al-Hadid, verse 3, He is the first and the last, the manifest and the hidden. This verse shows us that God includes all the aspects of existing. For Ibn Arabi, these verses prove that the world is full of the sign of the God, and everything points back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next, let's look the evidence from the Sunnah. The famous hadith of Ihsan said that you worship Allah as if you see Him, and if you do not see Him, you know that He see you. This hadith teach all the Muslims to always feel close to the Allah when they pray or they make the zikr. Another saying, often quoted by Sufis, is, "I was hidden treasure and I live to be known. So I create a creation that I might be known." Ibn Arabi explained that creation exists so that God can be recognized. This fits perfectly with his idea that the world reflects to the God's reality. Of course, we know not all scholars agree with Ibn Arabi's idea and his interpretation. Many ulama respected and appreciated his work and called him such as a great master. They believe his writing helped Muslims understand the spiritual meaning of the Quran and Sunnah better. But some ulama criticized him. For example, Ibn Taymiyyah strongly rejected Wahdatul Wujud because for him he thought it mixed with the Creator with creation. Critics worry that his idea could confuse and blur the Muslim about the true meaning of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. Even with this criticism, Ibn Arabi's influence continued. Many Sufi groups accepted his teaching, and his books are still studied today in both traditional and academic settings. For the last part in this presentation, now let us think about how Ibn Arabi's idea can be applied today. We know his teaching about unity can help Muslims to understand diversity and live peacefully with others. His focus on love of the God inspired people to see religion as a path of compassion. And also his writing are used in interfaith dialogue. For example, his idea that all existence reflect to the God can connect with Christian mysticism or Hindu philosophy. In this way, his thought helped build a bridge between different religions. Artists, poets, and philosophers, for example, also use his idea. His vision of divine love and unity inspired creative work and modern spiritual discussion. To conclude my presentation today about Ibn Arabi's life and his teaching in Sufism, that teaching showed the depth of Islamic spirituality. His concept of Wahdatul Wujud explained that all existence is connected to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. He used the Quran and Sunnah to support his idea, and although some ulama disagree, his still influence remains strong. In today's world, his message of unity and love is very important thing. It can help all the Muslim and non-Muslim to understand each other better and see the spiritual meaning of life. Ibn Arabi's legacy as Shaykhul Akbar continue to inspire people who search for the truth of the closeness to the God. So that's all for me, and thank you.